There is currently a lot of drama going on with the film It Ends With Us, most specifically with Blake Lively. Now the internet has begun to turn on her, and here's everything that's happened. So starting off, the book it's based off of has been called problematic for romanticizing sensitive topics like DV. The author, Colleen Hoover, also has some controversies, but besides all of this, the movie was made. Now Blake Lively stars as the main character Lily Bloom, and she's also a producer on the film. She co-stars with Jason Baldoni, who is also the director of the film. Now with these two having more control over the project than just acting in it, it's no surprise that there were some altercations. Fans on social media have pointed out that the pair have not appeared together for any press or any photos together. Over the past week, Justin has spoken to Access Hollywood, Today, Entertainment Tonight, and Good Morning America, while Blake has spoken to Vogue, Capital FM, and CBS Mornings. Justin only appeared on the red carpet solo and side by side with his wife Emily and other friends and family at the premiere, but never with Lively or other co-stars. Now according to Paper Magazine, Justin also allegedly didn't introduce the film ahead of the screening with Blake and Colleen Hoover, despite being the director and star of the film, which is a little strange. Unnamed sources told The Hollywood Reporter there were fractures among the filmmakers in post-production, and that Lively, who was a producer on the film, had commissioned her own cut of the film from editor Shane Reed, who was the editor on her husband Ryan Reynolds' film Deadpool and Wolverine. Another source told The Hollywood Reporter Blake's cut may not indicate a feud, as it's not uncommon for a film to undergo multiple cuts during post-production, and the filmmaking team agreed on the final cut, but who knows what truly happened. Then people got really upset when Blake spoke about how involved her husband Ryan Reynolds was in the film. Blake added her own fuel to the fire when she revealed that her husband wrote part of the rooftop scene in the film. The iconic rooftop scene, "My husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you know," Blake said. Now apparently this is normal. As Blake said, we help each other all the time. He works on everything I do, I work on everything he does, so his wins, his celebrations are mine and mine are his. Now multiple unnamed sources told The Hollywood Reporter that Ryan did not write the entire scene, which is a good thing. Now this could have made Justin upset, and fans seem to speculate that Blake and Ryan may have taken over, effectively stepping on Justin's toes. Now Blake told Hits Radio UK about one clash she had on set, which she said she is not supposed to be talking about, though she did not specify who it was with, claiming they begged her to remove a Lana Del Rey song from the film. Now Justin told Elle on Monday that there's always friction that happens when you make a movie like this, but said that friction is what creates the beautiful art. Blake has been called out though about how she's treated the promotion of this film. She's been promoting the film as a rom-com when it covers serious topics. It's a drama and not a rom-com. At the premiere, her husband Ryan attended, but so did his Deadpool 3 co-star Hugh Jackman. A lot of people claimed that it felt like Blake and Ryan were trying to recreate the magic of the Barbie and Oppenheimer movie premieres last summer. But due to the nature of It Ends With Us, it's just not the right thing to do at all. It seemed like all Blake cared about was reaching high numbers at the box office and looking good, not trying to tell the story of a DV victim and bring awareness to the issues in the film. Blake has also been blasted as tone deaf and shallow after she hosted an interview with her It Ends With Us co-stars and failed to discuss the serious message behind the movie. Blake sat down with fellow cast members Jenny Slate and Isabella Ferrer, as well as author Colleen last week to discuss the new flick, and many people were left unimpressed by the lighthearted nature of their conversation. The four women giggled together as they discussed everything from their dream jobs to zodiac signs, but there was no mention of DV during their chat, and social medias were quick to slam them, particularly Blake, who hosted the interview, for partaking in the breezy questionnaire given the serious nature of the film and for failing to speak about the topic. Immediately, outraged viewers flocked to the comment section to criticize them. "I'm very confused, you missed the entire purpose of the movie, I'm sad and disappointed," one person wrote. "Can you please promote it appropriately?" another asked. Now someone else added, "Blake is only here for the fashion and that's all. She ain't interested in the message this movie brings. Shallow." However, several hours later, Blake took to Instagram to share information about DV, as well as some resources for her followers. She directed her followers to a series of links, which included a phone number for victims of DV, as well as statistics and other information. But that interview wasn't the only time she acted weird during an interview for the film. In a recent Jake Blake's Takes interview hosted by Jake Hamilton, Blake, who appears alongside her co-star Brandon, is asked about how people affected by the movie might approach her in public to discuss some of its themes. If someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? Now, Blake then decided to answer this in what she thought was a funny way, I guess. Blake proceeded to make a joke as she sarcastically questioned, like asking for my address or my phone number or like location share, and she continued to joke but eventually answered more seriously. But that really wasn't the right tone at all. Now, several internet users have been left appalled at Blake's initial dismissive response to Jake's question. Now, while Blake has touched on the movie's darker side occasionally, she has been lighthearted for most of the press tour. For example, she's focused much of her energy on her floral looks, which reference her character's name and profession. She even says in the film's official TikTok account's promotional clip, "Grab your friends, wear your florals," as she encourages people to watch the movie. Which, is that really an appropriate thing to say? No, not really. Then Blake has also been using the film to promote some of her own businesses. She promoted her drinks company, Betty Buzz, and actually unveiled some floral-inspired cocktails for the film. She then created Betty Blooms, a limited series of bouquets housed in Betty Buzz bottles, as a tie-in to her character's love for flowers. Now, she also used the promo to announce her new hair care line. At the premiere of It Ends With Us, fans also accused Blake of promoting her business for personal gain. Now, during the red carpet event, fans noticed that Blake discussed her hairline rather than focusing on conversations surrounding DV awareness. Others also noticed that Blake's Instagram bio is a link to her hair care line's profile, whereas her co-star Justin's is a link to a non-profit organization focused on helping victims of DV. Now, it's just very two different approaches to this, but Blake's is falling short. Norwegian interviewer Kirsty Flaw, who goes by Kirsty, has uploaded her 2016 interview with Blake that was so uncomfortable it made her want to quit her journalism career. Kirsty posted a video simply called "The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job" to her popular YouTube channel earlier this week, and viewers have been left horrified by the 4-minute long footage. In the clip, Brooke is promoting the movie Cafe Society and is joined by her co-star Parker Posey. Now, the movie came out in July 2016, and this interview would have taken place at around the same time. That year, Blake had announced her pregnancy at the Met Gala that May, but she appeared to take offense when Kirsty starts the interview by congratulating her on her little bump. "Congrats on your little bump," Blake mockingly retorts to Kirsty, who visibly isn't pregnant. Now, appearing to purposely exclude Kirsty from the conversation, Blake and Parker seem to almost ignore her. It was extremely rude and horrible, and people in the comments called them out. Yeah, this doesn't look good for her at all, and with all this stuff coming out, it's making Blake lose fans.
Celebrities refuse to work with Blake Lively. Of course, we're starting with Justin Baldoni. How could we not? The It Ends With Us drama is the hottest topic right now. Justin, if you didn't know, is starring opposite Lively in the new movie It Ends With Us. He also directed it. It's based on the book by Colleen Hoover. It's a highly controversial novel that has turned into a highly controversial movie because it deals with very serious themes in a sometimes unserious way. That's the barest bones of the situations, but let's get into it. During a red carpet interview for the movie, Justin implied that he was not looking to work with Lively again. He was asked by the interviewer if he were interested in directing a sequel should the movie get one. He responded, "I think there are better people for that one. I think Blake Lively is ready to direct, that's what I think." This raised a lot of eyebrows, many wondering if there were some creative disagreements on set between the two. This appears to have been kind of confirmed when a video taken of the pair allegedly fighting on set emerged. No one knows what their disagreement would have been about, but they didn't look happy. Press for the film has also looked a little odd. Justin, for the most part, has been doing his press alone, whereas Lively will often be surrounded by other cast members, and the same is true for red carpets. In fact, Justin barely took any pictures with his co-stars on those red carpets. People have also noticed the cast and the author of the book do not follow Justin back on Instagram. In an incredibly shocking turn of events, The Hollywood Reporter wrote that there was a fracture among filmmakers in the post-production process, wherein two different cuts of the movie emerged. So they are saying that there is a Blake version of the movie and a Justin version of the movie. The public is taking sides. Some find the fact that the entire movie is distancing from Justin to be suspicious, so they're rallying behind Blake. Others are criticizing the way Blake is conducting herself on the press tour, accusing the actress of downplaying the mature themes of the movie, trying to make it sound more lighthearted than it is, alternatively praising Justin for talking about the mature themes and bringing awareness to them. This is a developing celebrity story, so let us know what you think about it. Armie Hammer is not Blake Lively's biggest fan since she allegedly got him fired from Gossip Girl. At least that's what he makes it sound like. Hammer was asked to name the biggest diva on Gossip Girl. Of course, he couldn't outright name drop anyone, but he did say that it was his love interest on the show. Hammer was only on Gossip Girl for a few episodes and played Serena's, Blake Lively's, love interest, so clearly he was talking about Lively. He further shared that he was supposed to be in more episodes than what he filmed, but the ones he did film were really tough, also hinting that they were difficult because of Lively. In her defense with this one, it took a couple years, but we all found out that Hammer has his own stuff to worry about. Maybe Blake got a weird vibe early on. For anyone, like staring at the screen confused about what all that meant, Armie Hammer was accused of being the type of person that enjoys people as a meal, so not a good person at all. Maybe Blake Lively wasn't easy to work with on the set like Hammer is saying, but as we all found out years down the road, he's got his own weird personal stuff going on too. Reporter Kirsty Flaw has unexpectedly caused a wave of backlash against Blake Lively recently. Footage from a 2016 interview Lively did to promote the movie Cafe Society has resurfaced, and it paints her in a pretty negative light. One moment in particular has everyone buzzing. At this point in time, when the interview happens, Lively is pregnant. So the interviewer says, "Congratulations on your little bump." Lively responds with, "Congratulations on your little bump." The reporter was not pregnant. People are saying that this comment was an extremely rude thing to say to someone who was simply expressing congratulations. It makes the rest of the interview look worse, as Lively does not interact with the reporter as much as she does as her co-star. It's clear that this celebrity reporter pairing will probably never happen again. Gossip Girl gave us the iconic best friends Serena and Blair, but in real life the actresses seem to be anything but. Throughout the run of the show, Blake Lively and Leighton Meester were rumored to be feuding, and the rumors might have been true. The New York Magazine reported that the two girls avoided each other like the plague while on set. The publicity surrounding this eventually got so bad, Lively's publicist felt they had to release a statement saying Blake and Leighton have never been best friends and never professed to be. Blake goes to work, does her job, and goes home. Unfortunately, the statement only added more fuel to the fire at the time. We got an honest answer from Joshua Safran, Gossip Girl's executive producer. He said Blake and Leighton were not friends. They were friendly, but they were not friends like Serena and Blair. Yet, the second they'd be on set together, it's as if they were. Basically, the girls were not like buddies, but they were such good actresses, you would never know. Blake's once shared in an interview that the Gossip Girl higher-ups actively encouraged the cast to act like their characters, wear the clothes, actually be friends, and even date each other. According to Blake, they wanted this because then it fed the whole narrative people could buy into the world. Despite their best efforts, it seems the two never got on in real life as well as they did on the show. Anna Kendrick starred opposite Lively in the movie A Simple Favor, but the press tour left people more confused than anything else. People couldn't figure out how the two women really felt about the other. Both have excellent senses of humor, but often dry senses of humor, the kind where you can't really tell if they're joking at first sometimes. So throughout the press tour for the film, the pair were faced with article after article about their alleged feud. If the articles are to be believed, tension was building as early as 1 month into filming. Right around then is when In Touch Weekly reported that Kendrick made fun of Taylor Swift, one of Lively's close friends, and that allegedly caused an issue. The press tour featured instances where the pair would seemingly stand quite far apart, or once Anna Kendrick whispered at Lively to not touch her, or just like little comments directed at the other. They could have just been joking around with each other. New info about this whole situation was still coming out even years after it happened. The podcast Celebrity Memoirs Book Club claims that by the end of shooting the movie, the two actresses wouldn't speak to each other, to the point where the studio allegedly had to have a chat with the actresses to tell them to at least pretend to like each other because it was starting to get obvious that they didn't. The source also alleged that Kendrick was quite competitive, particularly towards Lively, even going so far as to ask for more promotion for the film. It's unclear how much of this is true. People are eyeing the source with suspicion now, especially since the two women have agreed to return for a second movie. A Simple Favor 2 is set to release in 2025, so we have about a year until the next press tour and the rumors start all over again. Blake Lively really does have bad luck with the press though. American journalist Katie Weaver has got quite the one-sided feud with Lively. It's been over a decade of the journalist calling Lively out on the internet, particularly on the social media news site X. She has made it very clear that she would never want to work with Lively personally and has made it her life's mission to remind everyone of where Lively and Ryan Reynolds got married. This is probably the couple's biggest controversy. They had their wedding ceremony in the south at a place that used to be a plantation. The property, it's nice, but no matter how pretty you can make the area look, that doesn't erase the horrible history of the space. People were quick to call out the couple for choosing the venue. They are rich. They could have picked literally anywhere else. Blake and Ryan did end up actually issuing an apology. In case you were wondering, Weaver has yet to say anything regarding the It Ends With Us drama, much to her followers' disappointment. The soulmates of Hollywood, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, actually met when they were both in committed relationships. Blake was dating Penn Badgley and Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson. In 2010, the pair played love interests in Green Lantern, then later that year they both ended their respective relationships. The pair ended up casually dating around, even once going on a double date, but not on each other's arm, despite being broken up. When Lively and Reynolds officially got together shortly after that double date, celebrity news sites started reporting that Ryan's ex-wife, Scarlett Johansson, was not happy about their pairing. A source spoke to Us Weekly, claiming that Johansson was angry Ryan had moved on. And finally, despite both women being best friends with Taylor Swift, there are plenty of rumors circulating that Selena Gomez and Blake Lively can't stand each other. After Taylor showed up to the Super Bowl with a celebrity-filled box, people wondered where her best friend Selena Gomez was. Insiders close to the stars claim that Lively, who was at the event, and Gomez just don't mix, so they tend to avoid each other. People quickly started doing the research, searching for any photos of the two women side by side at any of Taylor's numerous events over the years, and almost nothing was found. There was one instance where the two were both at the Saturday Night Live party in November of 2021, but no pictures are there of them together. It's a truly bizarre situation that I'm surprised hasn't been picked up by the masses yet. But what do you think? Let us know. Bye!
As It Ends With Us heads towards a promising opening weekend at the box office, the movie is unexpectedly capturing attention on social media, and not all of it is positive. TikTok has been buzzing with rumors about a potential rift between star producer Blake Lively and her co-star Justin Baldoni, who also directed the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's popular novel. The social media frenzy surrounding It Ends With Us is reminiscent of the online scrutiny seen during the release of films like Don't Worry Darling, remember the infamous Spitgate, or even Madam Web. Fans and followers are dissecting the movie's press appearances with the dedication of a secret spy. Sources have informed The Hollywood Reporter that tensions arose during the post-production phase, leading to the creation of two different cuts of the movie. The TikTok investigation into It Ends With Us kicked off when fans noticed Baldoni's conspicuous absence from joint promotional events, the lack of photos featuring both Lively and Baldoni at the New York premiere, and the fact that neither Lively, Hoover, nor other cast members follow Baldoni on Instagram, though he does follow them. This raised eyebrows, especially since Hoover and Baldoni had previously appeared together on each other's Instagram accounts during the movie's development. Social media users also began speculating that Lively enlisted her husband, Ryan Reynolds, to take control of the film's creative direction. This theory gained traction when Lively revealed at the world premiere that Reynolds had written a key rooftop scene early in the movie. Quote, "We help each other. He works on everything I do, I work on everything he does. So his wins, his celebrations are mine, and mine are his," she explained. The film's script was penned by Christy Hall. According to multiple insiders, while Reynolds did contribute significant dialogue for the scene, he, of course, did not write the entire thing. Beyond that, Reynolds had little time to focus on his wife's film as he was deeply immersed in working with director Sean Levy on Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine has been one of the most talked about films in recent years, bringing together two of the most beloved characters from the Marvel Universe. The film, a sequel in the wildly successful Deadpool franchise, features Reynolds Reynolds reprising his role as the wisecracking, fourth wall breaking anti-hero, while Hugh Jackman returned as Wolverine, much to the delight of fans. The chemistry between Reynolds and Jackman, both on and off screen, has been a major selling point, contributing to the film's massive box office success and critical acclaim. Blake Lively herself had a highly anticipated and rumored role in the movie, and although her face was never revealed in the film, she did have a few speaking lines as she played the character of Lady Pool. Ryan and Blake weren't the only members of the Reynolds family seen in the Deadpool cast, however. Lively and Reynolds are parents to 4 children, daughters James, Inez, and Betty, and a son named Olin. 3 of them make appearances in the movie. In Deadpool and Wolverine, Lady Pool has a baby, fittingly named Baby Pool, portrayed by the couple's youngest child, Olin. Inez takes on the role of Kid Pool and even has a speaking line. Their eldest daughter, 9-year-old James, also makes a brief appearance as a screaming mutant. This is all to say this has clearly been an exceptionally busy year for the Reynolds family. With Deadpool and Wolverine enjoying tremendous success, it's easy to see why Reynolds was so focused on this project, leaving limited time to dedicate to It Ends With Us. She reportedly had enough influence to commission her own version of the movie. Multiple sources revealed that Lively requested a cut of the movie from editor Shane Reed, who also worked on Deadpool and Wolverine, and edited the Lively directed music video for Taylor Swift's I Bet You Think About Me. It remains unclear if any part of this cut made it into the final version, which was credited to editors Una Flaherty and Rob Sullivan. One insider downplayed the rumors of conflict, noting that it's not uncommon for multiple versions of a film to emerge during post-production, and the team ultimately agreed on the final cut. Representatives for Lively and Baldoni have not responded to requests for comment. Baldoni has acknowledged Lively's creative contributions in interviews, but has not commented on the alleged competing cuts of the movie. He did mention stepping back at times to let the women on set take the lead, as the film centers around a woman's perspective and addresses the sensitive topic of domestic violence. Hoover has published a sequel, the 2022 novel It Starts With Us. Baldoni has not committed to directing another film in the franchise, although his character plays a key role in the sequel. It remains unclear whether the studio will be able to bring the team back together for another installment. In the end, the buzz surrounding It Ends With Us might fade once the film hits theaters, but unlike Don't Worry Darling and Madam Web, it's expected to be a financial success, projected to earn $23 million or more during its opening weekend, a solid result for a movie with a $25 million budget. And if pre-sales are any indication, that number could definitely climb even higher. In the world of Colleen Hoover film adaptations, It Ends With Us isn't the only movie on the docket. Varity marks the 3rd adaptation of a Colleen Hoover novel. The first was Confess, a romance novel published in 2015, which became a TV series in 2017. The series aired for 1 season on Go 90 and consisted of 7 episodes, starring Katie Leclerc and Ryan Cooper. The second adaptation, obviously, is It Ends With Us, which premiered in theaters on August 9th. While many details about Varity are still unknown, it remains one of Hoover's most popular books, with over 1 million copies sold and frequent appearances on bestseller lists. This highly anticipated adaptation is unlikely to keep us waiting for too long. Varity has already become one of the most eagerly awaited adaptations, even though filming hasn't even started yet. Since this bestseller is still in the early stages of development, details are limited. However, there are a few things that we do know about the upcoming Colleen Hoover adaptation. At this moment in time, Varity does not have a release date. Since production hasn't begun, it's unclear whether the film will be released in a few years or much further down the line. The earliest we might see Varity in theaters is likely 2025 or 2026. The production team may wait to see how the movie adaptation of It Ends With Us performs at the box office. If it's a big hit, they might expedite production to capitalize on that success. The It Ends With Us trailer garnered over 128 million views in the first 24 hours, which definitely bodes well for its box office potential. Varity shares similarities with
with films like Gone Girl, A Simple Favor, Rebecca, and Vertigo, creating a sense of distrust between the viewer and the characters. If the film leans into these elements, it could become a very gripping thriller with plenty of twists and turns. The story follows Lowen Ashley, a writer struggling in her career who gets a life-changing opportunity to ghostwrite for a best-selling author. After a car accident leaves Varity Crawford in a coma, Lowen moves into her home and begins to grow close to Verity's husband, Jeremy. As she settles in, Lowen uncovers dark secrets that blur the lines between truth and fiction. The narrative toys with the reader's sense of reality, and the film could explore whether Lowen's imagination is at play or if there's something more sinister going on. The book's intriguing storyline already has a very cinematic feel, which should make the transition to the screen even smoother. Hilary Seitz is currently set to write the Varity screenplay. Her previous work includes Christopher Nolan's Insomnia, Eagle Eye, and the recent Sandra Bullock and Viola Davis film The Unforgivable, which also featured a very thought-provoking ending. Although we know Varity is in the works, many details remain under wraps. It's difficult to predict the cast for Varity due to the film's very high potential. Casting news for these characters will likely spark discussions similar to the buzz surrounding Blake Lively's casting in It Ends With Us.
There has been a lot of drama in the past week with the cast of It Ends With Us, and we're discovering a bunch of celebs who don't only hate the lead actress, Blake Lively, but her husband Ryan Reynolds as well. Prior to the opening on Friday, August 9th, internet users suspected that there was some kind of feud going on with Blake and her co-star and director of the film, Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni partially linked to the movie's final cut. Now, the feud speculation originally began to swirl when fans noticed that Blake doesn't follow Justin on Instagram, nor does anyone else in the cast. Now, eagle-eyed fans also pointed out that Justin was noticeably absent from joint press events for the movie, and there was no big cast photos from the New York City premiere. Now, some creators on TikTok claimed tensions began when Lively brought her husband Ryan Reynolds to help on the film's creative direction despite Justin's directing. Blake added her own fuel to the fire when she revealed that her husband Ryan wrote part of the rooftop scene in the film. The iconic rooftop scene, "My husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that but you now," Blake said. Now, apparently this is normal, as Blake has said that we help each other. He works on everything I do, I work on everything he does, so his wins, his celebrations are mine and mine are his. Obviously could have made Justin upset, as fans seem to speculate that Blake and Ryan may have taken over, effectively stepping on Justin's toes. Now, a source even told The Hollywood Reporter that 2 different cuts of the movie emerged, though it's unclear who determined the final cut. Then he made some of a backhanded compliment on the red carpet to Blake. I think there are better people for that one," Justin told Entertainment Tonight when asked if he'd pull double duty again for the possible next installment. He added, "I think Blake Lively is ready to direct, that's what I think." The film's team, including Lively, have been criticized for their lighthearted promotion of what is a serious subject matter. Now, Blake has used the film to promote her brand, Betty Buzz, by selling Betty Blooms, a limited series of bouquets housed in Betty Buzz bottles, as a tie-in to her character's love of flowers. Now, a lot of people think this has been done in poor taste, not to mention that Ryan has brought his Deadpool 3 co-star Hugh Jackman to the premiere in an effort to promote their movie as well. Now, Justin only appeared on the red carpet solo and side by side with his wife Emily and other friends and family, but never with Blake or other co-stars. According to People magazine, Justin also allegedly didn't introduce the film ahead of the screening with Blake and Colleen Hoover, despite being the director and star of the film, which is just a little strange. But if I were Justin and I had to deal with all that, I'd be upset and as a result disconnected from my project as well. This whole incident is giving Don't Worry Darling energy with Harry Styles, Florence Pugh, and Olivia Wilde. Now, we all know how that ended, so it doesn't look too good with the cast of It Ends With Us. We'll just have to wait and see what new details come out about the cast and see what happens, but I'm sure the truth will come out eventually. Then there's also been rumors that Scarlett Johansson is not a fan of the couple, as she feels Blake stole Ryan from her. Before he was Blake's husband and the father of her 4 children, Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson. Now the pair got married in September 2008 after a year of dating, but cancelled it quits just 2 years later. Their divorce was finalized in 2011, coinciding with when Ryan started dating Blake, which raised some eyebrows. Ryan and Blake met on the set of Green Lantern before he had officially separated from Scarlett, leading to rumors that there was some infidelity in the relationship. Now, Ryan and Scarlett cited their hectic work lives as the primary reason for their split, but reports suggested that Scarlett believed Blake was to blame for the fallout of her marriage. Scarlett feels like Blake actually stole Ryan from her because it was when he started shooting Green Lantern with Blake in 2010 that everything fell apart, a source told the National Enquirer. Now additionally, in 2011, a source told Us Weekly that Scarlett carried some resentment towards Blake for ruining her chances of reconnecting with Ryan. And hey, that seems like a valid reason to hate someone. Well, at least to me it does. Now, neither Scarlett or Ryan have ever discussed what really happened, but Scarlett did admit to relating to her Marriage Story character, who gets cheated on. In an interview with Variety Fair, the actor shared, "I had some kind of shared experience with the character, or with any person going through a divorce really." Now, I feel like that's definitely a hint of what she went through, so I don't blame her for hating Blake at all. Then in 2022, Deadpool actor TJ Miller slammed his co-star Ryan Reynolds, claiming he was horrifically mean on set and that he would never work with him again. Now that sang true, as he was not a part of the 3rd Deadpool film. Would I work with him again? No, I sort of wish him well because he's so good as Deadpool, and I think it's weird that he hates me, he said on the Adam Carolla Show podcast. We had a really weird moment on Deadpool where Reynolds said, "Let's do one more take," and then as the character, he was horrifically mean to me, but to me as if I was Weasel. He was like, "You know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star. You do just enough exposition that it's funny and we can leave and get back to the real movie." I just kind of listened and thought it was weird, and I got off stage and walked over and the whole crew was acting weird. Everybody was looking at each other like, what the F is he doing? Everybody was like, why is Ryan doing this? I just think he's kind of an insecure dude, TJ continued. Now TJ then said he would not do a 3rd Deadpool film even if he was offered twice as much money, which, like, yikes, I feel like that says a lot. Now he continued on by saying, "I think he should make a Deadpool 3 and continue to make movies. I just think he doesn't like me, and I thought it was weird how he expressed that." Now the actor went on to give his opinion on Ryan's wife, Blake Lively, who was expecting their 4th child at the time, and their relationship. "I only met her once, but I had to look at her pregnancy pictures she showed so the paparazzi would go away," he said, referring to a post Blake made online. "Their public image is very well curated. That's really all I know to say about that. The brand is likable." But I guess it wasn't really likable to him. And finally we have Leighton Meester. Leighton starred alongside Blake in the teen drama Gossip Girl, but it appeared that the two who played best friends on the show were not nearly as close in real life. Various sources, including one of the show's creators, revealed that Lively and Meester did not get along between takes. In 2008, as Gossip Girl entered its 2nd season, New York Magazine reported that the two actresses avoid each other like the plague, according to a source. The outlet also reported on a Daily News piece that hinted at the woman's strained relationship, suggesting one actor felt like she was being replaced by the other as the show's main star. Additionally, according to a Harper's Bazaar report, Leighton felt like Blake was too self-centered. Now the feud narrative was somewhat confirmed by one of the show's executive producers, Joshua Safran, in 2017. But they were not friends like Serena and Blair, citing personality differences as the primary reason. In the years following the conclusion of Gossip Girl, many cast members have reunited, except for Blake and Leighton. So it appears that there really was some type of feud between them. While people have been praising Blake and Ryan's relationship for years, it appears that some people are turning on the couple and trying to expose them for who they really are.